Hi and welcome back to another episode of Ahabni. It's Latifa with
Shama.
and
Today, we're gonna tell you what a hibni is and why we chose it. Okay, so basically, as you guys know, we're Arab and we chose a hibni because it describes how we love ourselves, and this is the whole purpose of our podcast and the message we're trying to deliver to all girls around the world, specifically Middle Eastern girls, of why they should love themselves, and that's the meaning of ahibni. I love myself, and Latifa also.
I love me.
Yes.
As a Middle Eastern girl, I feel like we're overly influenced by social media and influencers and the images they put in our minds and how we have to look like them. But instead, everyone has different beauty standards in their country and their culture. But we don't always have to follow the country's beauty standards or your family's beauty standards or your culture's beauty standards. Instead, be beautiful and love yourself. Because no matter how hard you try, even if you make yourself look like any girl that you always look up to and like you think they're so beautiful, if you don't have the confidence in yourself, you will never feel beautiful. So it should all start from being confident and loving yourself, which is ahibni. You should always tell yourself ahibni, so you actually begin to believe you are beautiful, and everyone is beautiful. No matter what you say about yourself, just look at yourself. If you focus on yourself, you will throw all the negative thoughts away and just look at the beauty in yourself.
Okay.
So first, I wanted to bring up this because I've been thinking about it for a long time. I was just thinking about how like the British colonization, how the British have been like all over the world, especially in countries of people of color, like in the Middle East, in some parts of Asia and Africa, India, Singapore, all of that, and how much they have affected the women there. Maybe people have not noticed this, but I feel like it does have a very huge effect on it, and that has started since those times, and maybe not only when social media became a thing.
I agree with what Latifa just mentioned about Western colonization, as they didn't only take over our countries and control them. Instead, they also didn't leave out the beauty standards part and made our beauty standards turn into their beauty standards, and made us from such a young age be focused on wanting to get thin and tall and have petite, cute bodies, get long blonde hair, big blue eyes, small noses, and cute big lips. These are all ideal beauty standards we commonly get promoted everywhere in our lives through social media, fashion, advertisement campaigns, making us shape our understanding of beauty standards from such a young age and grow up to believing those such standards were important for us to have and try to apply them to ourselves in such harmful ways.
I think that the double standards on women of color are flashing in the industry right now, because there's this trend going around called the clean girl aesthetic, which is often praised by the mainstream media and promotes smooth, oiled, and shiny hair as the ideal. This presents a challenge for Indian women who traditionally oil their hair for health reasons and cultural reasons. While these women's practices have deep-rooted significance in their heritage, the beauty industry sometimes labels the same attributes as messy or unhygienic. And I think this clashes between the clean girl aesthetic and the traditional practices and highlights the need to recognize and celebrate diverse beauty standards. It's a reminder that women of color should not be subjected to Western-centric ideals that dismiss their cultural practices and natural beauty. Like, why is it okay now that all the girls want to seem clean and oil their hair, but when Indian women did it, it was called messy or unclean? I think that is a very big problem that should be addressed. Aside from that, many double standards are set for so many different groups of women. Like, there's double standards set regarding Muslim women who wear modestly, where traditional attire is sometimes stigmatized as oppressive. Muslim women face challenges in expressing their faith while battling stereotypes. However, there's a growing trend amplified by figures like Sophia Richie embracing modest fashion as chic and trendy. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how when Sophia Richie did it, it was called as, oh wow, this is such a nice fashion trend. But when Muslim women did it, they were called oppressed, and that they didn't have any right over what they were wearing, and that this is all because of their religion, which shifts highlights in the contradiction in mainstream perceptions. While Muslim women have been pressured to confront the Western ideals of dressing modestly. Now for my third point, and these are the three main things I wanted to talk about. First of all, the significance of how oiled hair has become a trend, and when Indian women did it, it was called messy and non-clean. And the trend of fashion, of modest fashion, and the double standards regarding Muslim women. And now for my third point, which is, for years and years, the media has favored the preference for light skin, often marginalizing and stigmatizing those with tanner, darker complexions. However, in recent times, we have witnessed a notable shift in the beauty standards, and this is what we want. We have noticed the beauty standards shift from fair skin to also recognizing people with tan skin and becoming a sought-after look. The media's historical fixation with the fair skin has given way to the fascination with the sun-kissed glow and darker looks. This shifts highlights of double standards and contradictions in society's beauty ideals, where those who were once criticized for their natural complexions are now celebrated for it. It's a reminder that embracing diversity in skin tones and rejecting harmful beauty standards is a step towards a more inclusive and accepting society. Unfortunately, that's it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed and had a good time listening to us. And always remember to put yourselves first.
I think ugly is such a harmful word in every type of way, and we shouldn't use it because it's so overly used, and people these days use it to describe people, which is completely wrong, because ugly is no way to describe a person. Nobody's ugly. Everyone is beautiful. No matter what you think, you are beautiful because you are different and you are unique. There's nothing called ugly. Okay, you can say the grass is ugly, the bike is ugly. That is describing an object, but it's no way to describe a person because you are human. You cannot objectify yourself and call yourself ugly. And that's what I want for us girls to say. You can't go and tell people, oh, I'm so ugly, and look at yourself and be like, I'm ugly, because the world will listen to what you're saying and you will eventually feel that you're ugly from the inside, and that will reflect on how you look on the outside. Anytime I see a girl struggling with her own insecurities and not loving herself, I always look at the environment she's in. That's one of the most common reasons of girls finding a difficulty loving themselves. Because I know as a girl, we are sensitive and get affected quickly by others' comments and take them personal. Slowly by slowly, we find our self-confidence go so low without even noticing it. Although it does show in our physical appearance and body language throughout time.